Share my screen so you can see, guys, how I proceed with the literature review. Give me a second. I'm sharing my screen. So you guys, please tell me if you are seeing my screen so far. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, I use Scopus and another data source, which is Zimago JR. Have you heard about this Zimago Journal and Country Rank, guys? Okay, let me
No, sir.
illustrate you quickly the idea of this data source. As you can see here, we have a link saying journal rankings. If I click on it, I can have an exhaustive list of different scientific journals along with their impact factors in two different metrics, SJR and H index. Roughly speaking, SJR, as you can see in the indication, it's a measure of the journal's impact, influence, or prestige. It expresses the average number of hated citations received in the selected year by the documents published in the journal in the 3 previous years. H index is kind of a similar metric. It's the journal number of articles that have received at least H citations over the whole period. But the interesting idea is the one I'm going to illustrate right away. As we are working on the centrality of soft skills, can you guys tell me what possible knowledge areas could be interested in knowing specifics, details about soft skills? Name just
So psychology.
exactly, very well. What another field?
Another could be philosophy. The read.
Very well, very
the-
well.
Try
Exactly.
to understand how the mind works.
Exactly. I'm going to, just for illustrative purposes, going to pick education and pay attention that we have broad areas like chemical engineering, chemistry, computer science, psychology, social sciences. But inside social sciences, if I click on social sciences, for example, inside social sciences, we have these subcategories. We have education, and I'm going to select education. So education is a field that belongs to social sciences. And by clicking on these two menus, you have here the list of different journals, specialized journals in education. So for example, if I click here in H index, I can get the same list but ordered by the impact factor as captured by H index. So in this case, the first journal is child development and the second is journal of educational psychology. But if I click on SJR, I have the list, but now the order of journals varies. Is this importance? Not at all. These are just two different ways of measuring the importance of the journal. But what is important is to know the scope of the journal. In this case, I click on review of educational research, and as you can see a little bit, if you scroll down, you have the scope here, and it says the review of educational research publishes critical, integrative reviews of research literature bearing on education. Such reviews should include conceptualizations, interpretations, and syntheses of literature and scholarly work in a field broadly relevant to education and educational research. RARE encourages the submission of research relevant to education from any discipline, such as reviews of research in psychology, sociology, history, philosophy, political science, economics, computer science, statistics, anthropology, and biology, provided that the review bears on educational issues. So as you can see, it seems to me that this particular journal that you can access by clicking here in the homepage link, boom, we have the official website of this journal, and right away we have the button that says submit a paper. And here begins our strategy as a research team, guys. Before submitting our paper, we really need to make sure that we know in advance the particular scope of the journals that we are going to consult for doing the literature review. And this implies, among other things, scanning or monitoring the type of information that these journals provide. So I'm going to illustrate how I proceed for the literature review. I'm going to use the ISSN, which is these couple of numbers, because these numbers are more precise for identifying the journal when we use Scopus or Web of Science as our data source input. In our case, just for illustrative purposes, I'm going to use Scopus, all right? And here I am in Scopus. You can go to Scopus. If you type down Scopus in Google, like this, sorry, because it already has a memory. If you go to Google and put Scopus, you click on it, and you should be able to get to a similar page. But if you are not subscribed to Scopus, the appearance of the website should look like this one. It has a button that says create account. You can create account by using your institutional affiliation. As you can see, enter your email to continue with the Scopus, sign in via your institution. I highly recommend you guys to consult if in your university you have access to Scopus, because it will provide you the ways to use this splendid data source. With that said, I'm going to illustrate how I proceed for the literature review. We have the ISSN number here. I'm going to copy that number and put it here with this criterion. With this criteria. Search within ISSN and I put here the number. Then I included another field and I can release keep article title, abstract or keywords, and then I'm going to put to write soft skills, and click on search. All right, that's a very, very powerful message. According to Scopus, which is one of the top-notch specific information search engine, this particular journal, Review of Educational Research, hasn't published anything about soft skills. Now my question to you guys is, would you consider this particular journal if we are going to write a paper about soft skills?
Sir, in my opinion, we will not consider this journal because they don't have any numbers regarding how the soft skill paper perform in the journal.
Exactly. And the other guys, what do you think? Do you agree with your partner?
Yes, sir. Probably we
Yes,
will
sir.
not read this journal, and we will probably look a better journal than this.
Exactly. So as you can see, Scopus is a really interesting search engine. It is not well known by many students, and I would also say that researchers are not well aware of the capabilities of Scopus. I don't receive any payment from Scopus, by the way, but I'm saying this just because it is really a strategic resource for any researcher. So what do I do to find interesting results if this particular journal hasn't published anything about soft skills? Well, I go back and I keep this, but now I'm going to change the journal, in which case I go back to Simago Journal and Country Rank and choose the second journal, let's say Internet and Higher Education. Scroll down, copy the ISSN, come here, paste the number, and search. Once again, this second journal hasn't published anything about soft skills. So let's iterate the procedure and let's go find another journal. I'm going to skip those of these journals, and I'm going to get one of the journals that I know they have published something. Now we have more than 5,000 documents with soft skill as a term that appears in the title or the abstract or the keywords or any combination of the three. And here in Scopus we have an option that says Analyze Search Results. If you click on it, you will see here, basically you can see that interest has been increased, let's say, since 2015. Why? Because until 2015, the number of documents never surpassed the limit of 200, as you can see here in this gray line. But after 2015, the year 2015, the number increased and surpassed that threshold. So we can see that it is as of 2016 that the interest has risen on soft skills. But another important thing is the one you see here that says documents per year by source. If you click on it, here you have the list of the specific journals. Okay, Education Sciences is one of the journals that indeed has published something about soft skills. If I click here in this 34, okay, now I have 34 specific articles that includes the word soft skills either in the title or the abstract or the keywords. I'm going to select all these 34 documents that appear here. I'm going to download the bibliometric information as in the form of VIP text, which is, as you might know, is a particular format, and click here, just waiting patiently for that. File names company already existed. Yes, replace it. Okay, here I have the documents. Now, how can I know or get insights about all these 34 documents in an easy way? Well, for that purpose, I use another resource which is based in R programming language. As you can see, I opened RStudio. I'm going to load the library Bibliometrics, which I highly recommend you guys, and use the BiblioShiny user interface. The BiblioShiny user interface is here. I click where it says data, load data. Here I choose import raw files, then I use Scopus and choose the file. Select that, click on start, and boom, here I have in what it appears an Excel-like file. But the most interesting thing has nothing to do with the table itself, but with the things that we can get with the capabilities that we have on our left. For example, if I want to know the social structure on the country's collaboration world map, boom, here I have the countries where the specific interest related to soft skills has been somehow remarkable. It turns out, for example, in this case, that not all European countries has been interested in the topic of soft skills. For example, Portugal and Spain has been really interested in that particular topic, Italy as well, Germany, the Czech Republic and Slovakia. And the United Kingdom and Ireland. But for example, note that France has not been really interested. But let's remember that in this map, we are only mapping the references that has been published by the journal Education Sciences. If I click in Saimago and look for Education Sciences, we should be able to see the scope of the journal Education Sciences, and here we have Education Sciences publishes across all relevant fields of research, including but not restricted to educational administration and educational management, educational philosophy and theory of education, educational history, educational policy, curriculum studies, educational technology systems, educational technology, learning and teaching pedagogy, sociology of education, special education, teacher education, blah, 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 blah. As you can see, this journal already has 3 years with specific metrics. The metrics on 2022 are not available as they are this year is not visible here. But here we have the home page. Okay, here's the official website of Education Sciences. As this is an open access journal, if we wanted to submit our paper, we needed to pay the article processing charges. And that's another interesting thing because, as you might know, guys, getting our work published requires a bunch of different resources, including, of course, financial resources. But we lack for money now, but until we don't have enough resources, which I really hope to get somehow, we need to discard this type of journals because we don't have the money to paying the article processing charges. If I click on it, let me see just quickly the price. Okay, they charge 14,000 Swiss francs. I don't know how's that in Indian rupee. Let me quickly check that. CHF to rupee.
$125,000.
Okay, hi guys. Is this a really expensive amount of money for you?
Of course, it
That's
is very
almost
expensive.
1 year fee
Yeah,
of a course.
1 year income? Wow. I mean, an Indian,
it's
an in,
So
it's
not
our
income, sir.
it's our 1 year fee for our course. It's like almost one year fee for our course.
wow.
Our course fees is like 1.5 lakhs, and this is 1.25 lakhs. So
Okay, if I take that, we are talking about 1,530 United States dollars. Okay, that might be costly for us, but in any case, that doesn't mean that the information that we have here is worthless. On the contrary, the information we have here, it is actually really important because we might get some insight by looking at the information that is contained in these 34 documents. So in bibliometrics, I can go to the authors, for example, and get the most relevant authors. And when you hit this play button, boom, it turns out that it appears this author, Medvedeva, I don't know if I pronounced correctly that short name, but this Medvedeva has 2 articles published in that journal, as well as Robtsova. Probably they have published in collaboration because of the number. If we want to know the most relevant affiliations, we could also click on it, click on the play button, and boom! Turns out that at least for this particular journal, Education Sciences, we know that the Peter the Great Polytechnic University has submitted and published successfully 4 documents. Which documents? If you click on the table tab, we should be able to use this this name, sorry. Go to our data and search here. Okay, here we have the 3 entries. If I click on the DOI, here we have digital monitoring of student soft skills development as an interactive method for foreign language learning. Remember that I told you that probably they have published in collaboration. I was not wrong. It turns out that that was the case. Here we have Medvedeva, and here we have Robtosova. And if I click on the other DOI, okay, here we have another different article, Productive Method as a Basis for Soft Skills Development in Engineering Foreign Language Education. If I go to the third DOI, here I am. Here we have Assessment of Online Environment and Digital Footprint Functions in Higher Education Analytics. As you can see, guys, the use of Scopus is really interesting because we can easily collect the specific information we need, and then pre-process the analysis by using this handy tool called bibliometrics. We also have the possibility to understand the conceptual structure of this data set. If you click here in the conceptual structure and go to the co-occurrence network, for example, you can click on this play button and it says error. I don't know why. Let me go to the options. Okay, it happens that in this particular analysis co-occurrent networks, the default is the keyword plus, but the keyword plus doesn't work correctly quite frequently, so you need to make sure to use authors keywords, in which case you should not be able to get the same error. Okay, here we have it. If you could also take titles, for example, titles, and play, and boom, here we have it. This is the degree of the plot, but if you want the network, here you have the network, so you can see how the different words are related as according to the sample of articles that you got from Scopus with the criterion that you use. In this case, these are the criterion, the criteria we have. Our first criterion is soft skills, the one you see here in blue, and the second criterion is this one. All right. This is the query in Scopus. So when we are doing the literature review, it is worth noting to copy and paste this query, because by using this query, let me illustrate you. We can go to search and click here advanced document search, and if I click here and paste the query that I mentioned, we should be able to get the same results. Here it is. Now you could also say, okay, it turns out that the literature covers different years. What about taking only the most recent years? Let's say the current year, 2023, 2022, and 2023 and 2022. As you can see, we have 17 documents. I can say limit the the search, the results, only for these 2 years. If you click on limit 2, now we have 17 documents, but these 17 documents are now more recent because we are only considering the published articles only in the last year and what we have so far in the 2023. Now the query has increased considerably because we are more specific in the literature search. Now what I do normally is to play a little bit with this tool, iterating the procedure with different journals, with different keywords and so on, until I have several .bib files that you can see here. Because these give me the opportunity to have plenty of documents. I can also do the same, the following thing. Let me illustrate you. Go to the search and let's say instead of soft skills, let me say competence, all right? Which might be a synonym for the same word. And let's say that I'm really interested in a particular journal. Let's say this one, Review of Educational Research. Let's see if we are able to get some results. Yeah, we are. Now we have 31 documents, but these 31 documents are the results of varying the query that we use in Scopus. Here we are using the word competence. So now, if I select all these documents and export it in BibTeX, okay, I'm going to name this name Scopus 2. As you can see, guys, on the top of my screen, we have the first document named scopus.bib, as you can see here. And now we have a second file called scopus2.bib. I can combine these two files as you will see here. Here we have the documents. I'm going to compress them in a zip file and name this compressed file as 2 files. Okay, now I can use this zip file in my bibliometrics application. So I go here, once again, load data, import raw files, Scopus. I preserve the same things, but now choose a file and get the 2 files .zip. Click on start and boom, here I have the data set. Now, if you remember, the first file contained 34 and the second contained 31. Now, my question to you guys, how many files should we be able to get?
65.
65, very good, very good. Here we have the 65 documents. So, if I want to analyze the data, let's say the most relevant authors, and click play, boom, here we have. You remember that we got Medvedeva and Robtsova, but now we have Pellegrini. Pellegrini hasn't appeared in the first analysis. Now, this Pellegrini researcher appeared because I increased the sample of document in my file. And now we could also be more ample or wide in our queries. Let's say competence at work. To be precise, and note that I'm using double quote here to be precise in my search. Let's click here. Okay, competence at work doesn't appear in this journal. Let me go back, remove the second criterion, preserve these competences at work, and click on search. Now I have 49 documents. Okay, once again, select them all, export as BibTeX, make sure to have all the bibliometric information checked or selected, export, and name that file as Scopus 3. Save it. Here I have it. Now I have Scopus, Scopus 2, Scopus 3. Let's compress this as 3 files, for example. And now I can get these 3 files in my bibliometric application. Once again, go back to load data, choose a file, 3 files, boom, 65 plus 49, it should be a little bit more of the hundreds. Yeah, 114. Now, as you can see, guys, in just a few minutes, I have retrieved 114 documents that apparently are related to soft skills, and competences at work. My question to you guys is, why should I consider that these 114 documents are relevant for my study? Any idea?
Because we are, of course, doing a study on psychology and soft skills, and we found out documents upon soft skills. So these are relevant to our study.
So as you can see, the use of Scopus, using Scopus provide us with a really powerful way to look at the information as compared with Google Scholar, because in Google Scholar, we could say something like this: soft skills. Okay, it turns out that I have here 3,630,000 results, but no one is going to read 3 million documents. Actually, 114 documents, it's also a very large sample, but this number is more handleable. It's way easier for us to understand the information contained in 100 documents in comparison of understanding the information contained in these 3 million documents. So my reflection now, today is that quality is way above quantity. I mean, no matter how many documents has been available in Google Scholar, it might take an eternity for us to understand which of these 3 million documents are more important to include in my literature review, right? So my invitation to you guys is to give yourself the chance to use RStudio, install the library Bibliometrics, and play around with BiblioShiny so you can get plenty of possibilities to conduct a really smart literature review. I'm just curious, guys. What's your opinion about this tool?
So it's quite interesting tool, and actually we can get a lot of accurate information with this tool. Like we can be more specific and correct towards our research, what journal actually we should include and what keywords are actually necessary and not.
Exactly. Any other comment from you guys?
So the major advantage to use this tool is it is very efficient, and it provides a lot of handy knowledge, so we can use it.
Yeah,
to like
for
study faster
sure. Yeah, for sure.
or to produce result faster.
Exactly. Now I'm going to switch the attention of you guys to be short and sweet on how I can use LaTeX in Overleaf to write the document when the goal is to submit a paper to a journal. So I'm going to open a new tab. Let me close all those tabs that I have here. I really love to work with Overleaf because Overleaf provides plenty of different templates for different specific journals. You can click here on New Project, Academic Journal. And let's say we are going to submit our paper to PNAS. You guys know the PNAS journal?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, no problem. PNAS is if you go to Simago here, you can find it by Proceedings of the National Academy. And here we have Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. And here we have the H index of this journal. As you can see, this number, the larger this number, the most important and influential the journal. If I look, for example, to Nature, here we have Nature. Boom, here's the impact factor of the journal. It goes without saying that if we are able to publish our research in Nature, it is because the reviewers understand that our topic is way interesting for the whole audience or the whole scientific community. So publishing in a top tier journal really depends on the topic, on the relevance of the topic, the consequences that the research shows for the scientific community, and so on. It turns out that there are plenty of different reasons for reviewers working by these top tier journals to admit that a research is worth deserving the merit of being accepted for publication in this journal. But let's say, just for illustrative purposes, that we want to submit to Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, or in short, PNAS. PNAS, as you can see here. All right? Well, I can use the template provided by Overleaf to submit a paper in PNAS. Actually, I'm not going, well, let me quickly open the template. And I will ask you guys, please write down your email so I can share with you this document so we can all write the document in collaboration. You can do that here in the chat, please, so I can copy and paste your emails.
Yes, sir. Sir, I will forward all the emails in the chat.
Thank you. And in the meantime, it turns out that the template contains a BIP file. As you can see here, pnasample.bip. Here we have the different resources, the different items that are contained in the literature review here. So if you remember, I already have the BIP files here. So I can open them, select all, and copy that information directly into the BIP file of the template, as you saw here. I don't know why they are calling me. All right, now let's say I want to cite or quote the information of this very first item, Lurakis. Well, Lurakis published a paper say applying Scrum in an online Physics 2 undergraduate course effect on student progression and soft skills development. Here we have the abstract, all right? Okay, and let's go back to the document itself, go to text, and let's say something here. Okay, here begins my documentation. If I compile the work, we should be able to hear that what I wrote in line 56 on the text file now appears here. If I want to cite, the only thing that I need to do is, okay, if I want to cite, I can use the command cite Lourakis, period, and compile. And now I have, as you can see, the bibliography. If I click on the number 1, here we have the same information that we got from Scopus, but already available in the format that requires PNAS for authors interested in submitting papers to the journal. So it's really interesting because in Scopus you can get the BIP text information, then you can use that information and use it to quote the specific reference. So the list of the references that we will have here are somehow the result of deciding which papers are relevant for our purposes. And then we could go as smooth as writing our ideas in this document. Now let me go quickly to the chat so I can invite you to this project, guys. Sorry for the back and forth. Please tell me if you received the invitation. You can go to your email and check if you have the invitation in your spam or in your inbox.
Yes, sir, received.
Okay. All right. And okay. I hate to copy one by one these emails, but oof. So that was one of the reasons that I told you before that if you guys know GPT based way to deal with these repetitive things, please use them wisely, because as authors we okay, check please in your inbox if you received the invitation. If not, let me know. But I'm seeing that Anand and Shivam are already here. Hello guys. We also have the chat here. Hi guys.
Okay.
So, okay, now the idea is, now that we have the template and we have included the literature in this PINA sample bib file. Now we can write the ideas in this template, which I'm going to rename as manuscript. Manuscript. All right. What I suggest is to use Scopus. Give yourself the chance to use different queries with different keywords, but always remember that the conceptual framework of our paper is the preprint that I shared with you some days ago. Here we have the preprint. Once again, you have it here in the chat. In this preprint, if you click on the PDF on your right, you should be able to see, guys, the literature that has been analyzed at the final part of the manuscript here on page 11. We have used 58 different items. If you want to have these 58 items, I can quickly share with you that bibliography because I already wrote that preprint here. Let me go to all. Here we have the paper. Here we have the preprint. I don't know if, no, this was a former version. Let me go find quickly. Where was it? Soft skills. I think this was the template. Yes, here we have the template. So this is the bib file that I used. I'm going to select all these references and put them here in another document. Already used references in the preprint, that bib. Okay, and here you have it. Here you have them. So now we have two different bib files. This one PINA sample, and these already used references in preprint.bib. You can combine these two in your manuscript text by using the reference command. Let me check bibliography. PINA sample. You can add the other references here by using comma, and as you can see, after the comma, it instantaneously appear already used references in preprint, which was the second bib files that I just created a few seconds ago. And let's say we want to use this DS, the reference that appeared on line 1086. Okay, the only thing that we need to do is go to the manuscript text. Once again, go to the section where we need to write, and I mentioned here, let me put it a little bit larger so you can see. Lourakis, if I wanted to include another reference from the other bib file, I just use the cite command, ds. Here we have it. Turns out that this ds come from the data source, the second bit file that I created a few minutes ago. And now we have our second reference here, DS. So what I highly suggest you guys, you can download the PDF, use this information and parse it with ChatGPT to increase the productivity of our literature review, and let's give us a matter of, I don't know, a week, guys, for you to complete the literature reference.
Sir, actually, I'm going to ask you, what do you really want us to do, like in this week?
Okay. I don't know, guys. You tell me your availability so we can define a time reference for our work. But now that we are all set, writing the literature review should be easier, way easier for you guys.
Sir, you must talk with our Gopal sir to like know about time availability of us. So
Okay,
they'll know
okay,
better.
okay. I'll do
Yes,
that.
sir.
I'll do that. Do you have any questions, any concerns or comments about the way of doing the literature review?
Sir, can you just one time explain that about the latex commands once again? About adding the references.
Um, you mean how to include the references in the text?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. Um, let me put here. Let me see if we have the color here. Text color red. Red. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Do you see that the screen is divided in two different parts? On your left, we have the document, and our right, we have the compiled document that has the final appearance or the final look and feel of the document, right? Now, let's say we
Yes.
want to change the title in this particular message, okay? Well, it turns out that there is a command where the title appears. If you don't know where exactly is, you can click in any part of your left screen. For example, I'm clicking here on line number 76. But if you click on Control F, you should be able to see a search inside this text. And if you write down the title, latex, it turns out that the characters or the string you see here
Yes.
on your side is already available on line number 9. So if you want to change the title, you can go here and put soft skills importance for graduate studies, worldwide survey. And then if I compile, now the title has changed. Now you see that author 1, author 2, and author 3 are listed as the authors. As we are more than 3, what do you think we need to do to include the other authors in our document?
Slash author, we have to add another
Okay.
query or command.
Okay. Can you please add yourself as another author after?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Just a second.
Okay. Go ahead. And the other guys,
But
you can do the same as well. Include yourself if you want. Very good.
no, sir, I can't find that.
Sir,
You can find what character?
So I'm unable to find the title only. Shall I share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
You told that I have to just do Control F, and when I search about soft skills importance.
Okay, in this case, you are looking for importance for gravity, right?
Yeah,
Actually, Shivam, maybe you're in different document. That's
Yeah,
why
so it's the
maybe
same
that's the
document,
case.
no?
in pina_sample.bib or in the text file.
In the manuscript. Yeah,
Shivam, try to click on one manuscript.txt.
Exactly.
yes, sir. Got. Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right.
Actually, I was in another document.
No problem. Actually, if you share the screen once again, Shivan, please, and
Yes, sir.
show us. Okay, as you could see, most of us were editing the document simultaneously. But if you click on the green button here on the top of your screen where it says recompile,
Yeah.
now the name of all of you guys appeared. You saw them?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the idea is for you guys to use this template. We're going to write our ideas in the literature review in this template. It goes without saying that this is an iterative process. We might discuss the ideas via email or directly in the documents. I don't have any problems in sharing the ideas and discussing the ideas with you guys. But the idea is that you are going to want to produce the literature review. I'm going to review it. And let's say that the literature review is not going to be so difficult for you guys because you already have road already known in the preprint. The idea for the second team is to discuss how we are going to collect the data. But we could discuss that idea in another meeting if you want.